Hello my dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, with you Mr. Ahmed Al Arabi from Afak Educational Company. Today inshallah we're gonna talk about Unit 3 of Chapter 6, which is entitled Education. Today inshallah we're gonna talk about the passive voice and the active voice. Let's start our lesson today with the active voice. We use the active voice if we wanna emphasize the doer or who is responsible for the action. So we begin with the sentence with the doer or who is responsible for the action. Let's study this example. Adam sends emails every day. Adam is the subject here or the doer. Sends is the action. This verb in the active form, it can be in different tenses, and the tense of the sentence depends on the verb. Emails, here this word is the object or the receiver. What steps do we have to follow to change the sentence from active into passive form? Let's see the passive form. We use the passive form to emphasize the action rather than who is the doer or responsible for the action. What steps do we have to follow to change the sentence from active into passive? First of all, we begin the sentence with the object or the receiver. We put the object or receiver instead of the subject. After that, we use verb to be according to the tense here. Look, are sent. Emails is the subject, are sent is the verb. This verb in the passive form. By Adam is the agent or the doer. We put it instead of the object at the last of the sentence, proceeded with the word by. In some cases we omit the object or the doer when the listener or the addressee is not interested in the doer, or he is interested in the action, not the doer, or we don't know the doer of the action. For example, my car was stolen. We don't know who stole my car. The most important part of the passive form is to know the form of verb to be in different tenses. Let's study this table. Present simple, we use am, is, are plus pp. Pp means past participle or verb 3 or the third form of the verb. Past simple, was, were plus pp. Past progressive, am, is, or are plus being plus past participle. Past progressive, was or were plus being plus past participle. Present perfect, here have or has been plus past participle. Past perfect, had been plus past participle. Future perfect will have been plus pp. Future with will be plus past participle. Future with going to, am, is, or are going to be plus pp. Modal verbs, modal verb plus be plus pp. Let is changed into allowed, proceeded with verb to be according to the tense. Be allowed to full infinitive. Perfect infinitive, here could have been plus pp. Let's study these examples. We eat lunch at 2 o'clock every day. If you wanted to change this sentence from active into passive, we will begin with the object, with is the word lunch. Lunch is eaten by us at 2 o'clock every day. Lunch is eaten by us at 2 o'clock every day. Lunch here is the object. Eat is changed into is eaten by us. We can omit the doer here or the object if it is not important in the sentence. Lunch is eaten at 2 o'clock every day. He watered the flowers last week. This tense, this verb here of this tense in the past simple. The first step is to begin with the object, which is the word the flowers. The flowers were watered by him last week. The flowers were watered by him last week. We have removed all the furniture from the living room. We have removed all the furniture from the living room. All the furniture from the living room. So here, if we wanted to change the sentence from active into passive, we begin with the object. All the furniture has been removed from the living room. All the furniture has been removed from the living room. Let's turn to another example. The fire had destroyed the house before the fire brigade arrived. What is the object here? Yes, I can hear you, my dear. That's good. Great job. The house. The house. We begin with the house. Had destroyed will change it into had been destroyed. We can say had been or had been. Both are correct. The house had been destroyed by the fire before the fire brigade arrived. The house had been destroyed. We have removed all the furniture from the living room. All the furniture has been removed from the living room. They are going to give Talal a present. There are two ways to change the sentence from active into passive, because verbs like give, offer, or send are followed with two objects, direct object and indirect object. If we begin with the indirect object, which is Talal, the sentence will be Talal is going to be given a present. But if we wanted to begin with a present, the direct object here, a present is going to be given to Talal. Talal is indirect object, present is direct object. They didn't let me go out. Yeah. Let's analyze the sentence and what steps do we have to follow to change it from active into passive. First of all, we begin with the subject here. The object will be instead of the subject, so me is an object pronoun, will be changed into subject pronoun, will be changed into I. I wasn't, because the tense here is in the past simple in the negative form, so it will be wasn't. I wasn't. As we discussed it, as we know, here will be changed into allowed, followed with full infinitive. I wasn't allowed to go out. Now it's time for games or exercise. People sweep graves. Yeah, I can hear you. Graves are swept. Graves are swept. Yes, because the tense here in the present simple. People sweep graves. Graves are swept. People will buy sunflowers. Sunflowers is bought. Bought will be bought, are bought. Yes, great job, my dear. Excellent. Will buy, it's future simple, so it will be in the passive form, will be bought. Will be bought. Miss Lee painted a picture. A picture by Miss Lee. Painted, are painted, is painted, was painted. Yes, great job, my dear. Picture was painted, because the tense is the past simple tense, past simple, and the past simple form in the passive voice is was or were plus past participle, so it will be was painted. My mom made me eat all my soup. I was made. Here the verb made in the active form is followed with bare infinitive, but in the passive form it is followed with full infinitive, so it will be to eat. To eat all my soup. John has bought some new clothes. Some new clothes. Yes, bought is bought, are bought, have been bought. Yeah, well done. Some new clothes have been bought. Have been bought. The family clean the house every day. The house is cleaned by the family, are cleaned by the family, cleaned by the family, cleaned by the family. The tense is present simple, so it will be the house is cleaned by the family. The house is cleaned by the family every day. You must take him to hospital. he to hospital.